A very warm welcome to all of you. This is Business Today, your weekly business roundup brought to you exclusively on Channel I. And today is 8th of November 2017. And let's now look at some of the key milestones from the past which occurred on a day like today. In 1960, John F. Kennedy was elected as the 35th President of the United States on a day like today. And in 1990, Mary Robinson was elected as the first female president of Ireland. And in 2012, the Banana War ended after 20 long years. And it was a trade dispute between the European Union and 10 Latin American countries, which finally ended on a day like today. So these are some of the key highlights from the history. And with that, we will start our program for tonight. And let's move on to Business Personality segment. Today we have a guest who has started a business from scratch, and today he owns one of the most established construction companies in Sri Lanka. So let's connect with the introduction before we meet our guest.
Founder and visionary of Marg Engineering, M.G. Kularatna is a graduate of the University of Ceylon. Joining the Sri Lanka Army after graduation, he was elevated to the rank of captain in 1968. Subsequently, he served as the administration officer at the New Parliament project at Shriji Award in Napura for Mitsui Construction of Japan, and as the chief administration officer at the Shriji Award in Napura General Hospital project for Kajima Corporation of Japan. He also served as the special advisor to Takenaka Komiten Co. Limited of Japan at the new International Passenger Terminal project at the Katanayak International Airport. Mr. Kularatna established Marg Engineering in 1984, formulating the strategies of construction management that helped it become a model construction company and steering it to its present market leadership position. A fellow of the Institute of Certified Professional Managers and the Institute of Chartered Business Administrators, Mr. Kularatna is the former chairman of the Major and Specialist Constructors of Sri Lanka, the apex body of the country's major construction companies. Today, Marg Engineering has made an indelible imprint as the market leader and a model construction company of the country. It has provided leadership to Sri Lanka's construction industry by achieving exceptional growth, quality of work, timely delivery whilst setting benchmarks in safety and environmental performance. This is evidenced by the company being the only construction firm to receive Business Super Brands status, and the first construction company to win the National Green Award. The Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka honored the company with its first ever Engineering Excellence Award for infrastructure development in 2008. In 2016, MAGA attained its platinum rating and number 4 ranking in the Sri Lanka's Corporate Accountability Index, in recognition of its sustainable construction practices and continuous commitment to social, environmental, and financial accountability. The company has so far carried out work on buildings of a built-up area of over 20 million square feet, road networks spanning over 3,000 kilometers in length, and water projects serving over 1,200,000 residents, along with many bridges and flyovers.
All right, and he is Captain M.G. Kularatna. He is the Chairman and Managing Director of Marg Engineering Private Limited. A very good evening to you.
Good evening to you, Zanka.
Right, so you started off your career as an Army officer and then moved into construction sector, which is a total different field. What made you get into construction sector while serving in the Army?
After I left the Army, I had got the opportunity to work in several construction companies like Tata Engineering of India, Mitsui Construction of Japan, and then Kajima Corporation of Japan, Takenaka Corporation of Japan, and briefly Taisho Corporation of Japan. So I developed a great liking to construction. So that made me to follow the construction work and planning and methodologies closely. And at one stage, in 1981, I thought one day I should establish a construction company. So this company started as a family company, but today it is not a family company. It is a company with 12 directors and several shareholders. So that's a small correction.
Right. So you formed your construction company in 1983.
Yes.
And that was not quite a good year, as there were riots all over the country, and then the economy was severely affected with social issues. So how did you survive during this time period?
So the first few jobs we did were for the international contractors with whom I also have worked previously, and they supported us immensely to get acquainted with it and get established and to do our work well. With their guidance, we also acquired a lot of important trades, especially from the Japanese international construction companies, and then we could later use this this experience and our learning, or what we learned there, into the construction business what we started. So that made a difference. So it was very competitive. Fortunately, we were able to gather a very talented team who really committed themselves. So we instilled a very strict discipline which pervaded into the organization as well. And then we were really focused. We were really committed, and we pursued our goal. Initially, our motto was constancy to the purpose. Constancy to purpose. Right. So which meant that we were really focused on our work, and we committed ourselves, and we also, from the very inception, practiced lean production systems, and we developed teamwork, and we built a great team whereby we could overcome a lot of the issues that the construction industry faced at that time.
Great. And you never had second thoughts of entering into the market in such a year?
No, because it was once I decided that we should start a company, leave the Japanese company and start off a business on our own, so and create a model construction company, and also establish a lasting construction tradition in this country.
Right, so external factors did not affect you at all.
Yes.
Right, so today it is a very well established construction company in Sri Lanka. So would like to hear in your own words how you see the growth of this company and its current position.
So we started initially working for the international companies. Then we did our first direct job, that was NBRO, National Building Research Organization, which was a 3-story building and a 9-month contract. We finished it in 6 months, and they gave us a lot of recognition and popularity in the construction industry, and gave us a reputation. We finished the project 3 months ahead of schedule, and with a very high quality. And thereafter, in 1993, we built the first 5-star hotel, that is Eden Hotel at Beruala. Thereafter, we constructed several hotels like Lighthouse, then Taj Exotica Hotel, then Sinbad Hotel, then the Blue Water at Badua, and thereafter several other projects like the Apollo Hospital, now it's Lanka Hospital, and we went forward like that from success to success.
Great. And currently also we see a few large international construction projects happening around the country. What is your involvement there?
Now, international projects, we are only involved at the moment in the Southern Expressway.
Right.
We work.
Or any other landmark projects that you want to talk?
This is with the international contractors or the construction
Internal,
work.
external, both.
So today we are the contractor for the Grand Hyatt project.
Right.
And recently we have won this. We have won Prime Grand project at Columbus 7, which is an iconic project and a very high-end development by Prime Homes. And we also have several other important projects like the central part of the Central Expressway and part of the Southern Expressway, and projects like that.
All right. So, for an organization to come this far and for it to sustain for such a long time, you need a combination of factors to be in correct places. So, can you talk about the core values that you adhere to when managing your business?
Initially, I think what we really created was a discipline, a personal discipline, which pervaded into the organization or into the organization, and also we created in all our members passion for work, and also a great commitment and sacrifice, and relentlessly pursue our objectives and work as a team, and also adopt green practices, lean practices, which gave us a competitive edge over our competitors, and we were able to win the hearts of because we were able to win the confidence of our employers.
Right. As you're involved in many projects all around the country, you work with a huge number of employees, and you don't only deal with professionals, you work with people coming from various backgrounds. So how do you manage your human capital, and how do you ensure their quality standards?
I think for our success, we have a great organization structure, and we have 12 directors, and we have about 20-25 senior managers, and project managers, about 60 project managers, and project managers supported by administrative team, and finance and environment and quality management teams, which support our work at the project sites, projects, which helped us to, thereby we were able to manage our projects and our work well. We also, from the inception of winning, from the start, from the commencement of the project, we do a very good organization, build organization structure, and we also do our cash flow, our then control budgets, and then our project management plan, procurement plans, and we do the procurement plans, and then implementation of this plan.
All right. So you have also won numerous awards, and can you talk a little bit about those accomplishments?
We have won the most number of quality awards in this country.
Great.
So in 2008 we won the we won several awards.
Right.
We won the first award from the IESL, that is IESL, and also from the first Green Award.
Right.
And also the several other projects, important awards.
Right. So there is also a concern that certain construction projects bring in negative impacts to the environment. So what are the measures taken by your company to address those concerns?
Construction inherently damages or bring in adverse conditions to the environment.
Yes.
So it is unavoidable, but it is up to us. We have managed. We have also always endeavored to minimize the impact of construction, impact on the environment, and so thereby we have followed the rules laid by the legal requirements, and also we have trained our people to deal with the construction work so that the environment is not adverse effect is not brought on the environment.
All right. So looking at the construction industry, can you talk a little bit about how the industry is doing right now?
Right now the industry is doing well, I should say. Now in 2014, the contribution to the GDP was almost 8.8%, and the growth was more than 20%. But now, after the new government came into power, there was a slight drop in the construction work and the volume of work and the contribution to GDP. But in 2016 and 17, that last year, there we see a steady growth again, and a lot of projects are picking up, and there's more work in the construction industry. I think probably next year the situation should be better, and the industry should do better than what it was last year.
Right. So what are the major challenges you see in this industry?
The major challenges, I think, are the present challenges are the paucity of or inadequate work to go around, because during the last 2 decades the industry has grown, and there are a lot of contractors who have grown up and who are able to compete even with the international contractors. That is the major issue, because that affects the turnover and the profits, and also the ability to retain the staff, the engineers and skilled work. The second is the competition from international companies and foreign companies who have come to Sri Lanka with funds, and they execute projects where even subcontracts are not given to local contractors. Only in very few instances we see this type of subcontracts being given to local contractors. There is also shortage of materials, shortage of sand, metal and aggregate, and also soil. This due to the government regulations which are not very clear and which are not enforced in a very clear and straight manner.
Right, and you have made an indelible imprint in Sri Lankan construction sector. So when you look back, what do you see as your key success pillars?
I think our ability to find talent and also to instill discipline in them and to motivate them, and and to get them to commit themselves fully to our company, and relentlessly pursue the goal which we established clearly in our company, and our cooperation and the team that we were able to build, and the final achievement of our teamwork. I think our success is, I should say, we should dedicate the success to our team.
Great. that is a true quality of a true leader. Where do you think the future of construction sector is heading towards?
No, in the short term, I think construction industry should do well during the next few years. There's enough work to go around, at least substantial amount of work to go around. But in the long term, the success of industry and the sustenance of the industry will depend on the economic growth, how the economy will do.
Okay.
Because now it is said that construction is the bellwether, construction industry is the bellwether of the economy, or the barometer of the economy. When the construction industry economy does well, the industry does well. Also, the per capita income and the GDP of this country, we should have continuous growth in order for the industry to sustain and grow.
Right, so you have come to this position through the hard way and the right way. So my final question to you is, what is your message to the young generation to make their lives successful?
So young generation who want to pursue entrepreneur's career, or to be an entrepreneur, or to pursue a business, I would say a lot of people think that it is easy for people to come into build an organization and get into a good position in the country. So I would say a person who want to aspire to get into business or do well should first come with a proper he must discipline himself, especially with regard to finances and the other moral aspect of life, which also can be pervaded or can be taken pervaded into the organization. And also the leader, they should be able to also create passion for this, is whatever work the person is going to do, or whatever course of business that he is going to undertake. The other thing is he has to find talent and also to motivate them, also to infuse them with enthusiasm and get them to commit to work and build a great team. So it is by reinvesting whatever profits that you have intelligently, and also saving, making enough savings so that you have your cash flows, you have your finances. Then you have to. So the development is again a spiral. It's like a spiral. It is spiral. So you have to improve your human resources, your finances, then your equipment and other thing, technology. Then it goes like that. So we have to continuously reinvest and develop your organization and your resources, and continue to grow like that.
Right, so that's some valuable piece of information coming from, and advice coming from a great business personality. Thank you very much for being with us today. It was lovely having you with us.
Thank you very much.
Right, with that, we will move on to a short commercial break, and it was Captain M.J. Kularatne, Chairman, Managing Director, Marga Engineering Private Limited, who was with us today. So let's connect with a short commercial break, and we will be back with you with more updates. Welcome back to Business Today, and we are ready to move on to our next and final segment. Energy is a key factor without which we cannot survive, and today we hope to pay attention to one form of energy which is known as sustainable energy, which has gained a lot of attention in the current context. And we have with us Mr. Kirti Wickramaratne, Chairman, Sri Lanka Sustainable Energy Authority, joining us today. Good evening to you.
Good evening. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Right. First of all, can you give a brief introduction to this sector? What is sustainable energy?
Actually, sustainable energy is the energy that you produce and you don't do any harm to the environment and so on. It is sustainable. It's a real meaning of it is also the sustainability.
Okay.
and we have different forms of producing energy right now. So, but we are going to talk about the real sustainable energy, renewable energies.
Right.
So, in that context, we are talking about solar energy, wind energy, hydro, geothermal, wave energy, biomass, and so on. Yes.
Right. Can you talk a little bit about the size of this sector and the contribution that is coming from this sector to the economy?
Yeah, actually, if you take the normal energy sector, so we are talking of transport energy plus energy generation for the electricity use. So we are talking right now about the electricity part. So the normal volume is about $2.5 billion. So it is about 25% of the total export
quite
earnings.
huge.
Yes, that is quite huge, and this is the place if a government has to change something to the good of the country. I mean that you save a lot of foreign currency outflow. This is the sector where you have to think of. So it is so important.
Right, so since you're the chairman of Sri Lanka Sustainable Energy Authority, can you talk about the role of this entity?
Yes, actually Sustainable Energy Authority has two major parts. One is we have to develop renewable energies. That means the local energies that we can use like solar, wind and so on that I mentioned earlier. And the other thing is we are talking of saving energy, energy efficiency and so on. These are the two major parts that we are involved and that we have to accommodate the country to go in that direction.
Right, so how does the entity get involved in order to support this industry?
Yeah, we have, as I said, we have renewable energy development, so we map the renewable energies in the country, and then we ask the general public, the private sector, even G2G projects to be done to develop all that, and we do awareness programs to the general public and even to school children and all the sectors through to save energy and how you can use energy efficiently and so on and so forth.
Right, so you have recently launched a project promoting solar power called Surya Bala Sangrama. Can you talk a little bit about this initiative and what you hope to achieve through this project?
Yes, actually we wanted to, we have about 5.3 million households in Sri Lanka. So we wanted to at least 1 million houses, their roofs to be equipped with solar panels so that they become energy producers. Now, up to now they were energy users. Now we want them to be energy producers so that it's then, otherwise what we do is then we bring coal or diesel or whatever from other countries and then we produce energy. But if you use solar, that means then you are generating your own energy, so you are becoming slowly and steadily self-sufficient, and also it's a huge impact on environment and our cash outflow. So this is our target, to at least to equip 1 million houses through that program. And now we have started with the His Excellency's house. We have put the first plant, first panel plant, and then we were paying, that means we were doing that together with CEB and LECO, and we are paying the producers 22 rupees per kilowatt unit that they are producing on their roofs. So that was the program. By now we came nearly just more than 1 year. Now we are at about 100 megawatts of solar rooftops that we are now already producing. It's a big impact on the economy of the country.
Right, so how do you hope to expand this project and take it to the next
Yeah,
level
actually,
in future?
Our hope is to go endlessly. So there are about 18,000 households right now involved in this program. So we are trying to expand it to even at least 1 million houses. So that's a huge program. But we think our people in Sri Lanka, they are also very passionate about this. And the world is thinking of renewable energies, and the government, this present government, they are in their mandate, they say we want to go 100% on renewables by 2050. So there's a long way still there, but still now think we can make it happen.
Right, so if anyone wants to join your project, what should they do?
Yeah, actually, that's very easy. Now, the private sector is very well involved in that. Now we have about 240 companies who are doing this business, and the people who wants to go for Suryabala Sangramya program, they can call them and then get their best quotations, and we have on our web page who are the best companies to deal with and so on, and then they can get the CB approvals and then install their panels on the roof. And then there are 3 systems. One is called Net Accounting, Net Plus, and Net Accounting, Net Plus, and I forgot that one.
That's
So
fine.
yes, so that then whatever you generate, you get CB pay you.
Right.
For the first 7 years, you pay 22 rupees, and for the
So if
next.
there's anyone who wants to join hands with you, they can directly contact
Yes,
you,
yes.
so that further details can be
Yes, from our
obtained.
authority we have
Right.
a page, so they can contact
So
us.
energy saving is something relevant and useful for all of us. So can you give us a few tips as to how we could reduce our electricity bill?
Yeah, actually, one major thing is if you have a very heavy electricity bill, and if you are using heaters, you better go for solar heaters on the rooftop. And the other thing is the biggest consumer of energy at your home is the refrigerator. So if you have older ones, then you have to go for newer ones, and also you shouldn't open your refrigerator door for a very long period, and then it costs also you a lot. Or you have to, nowadays I think most of the houses are using LED bulbs. If not, then you have to go for LED bulbs. It saves a lot of energy. And then the construction of a house itself is a very important thing. There are guidelines where how you can reduce energy usage when you are constructing a house, and then you have to use normal daylight as example, and ventilation, normal ventilation you should create in your house. Likewise, there are so many ways how you can save energy, and we have leaflets in our authority where they can see all these tips, or they can go online and see that.
Right, so not paying attention on this topic will, from a consumer's perspective, it will affect your electricity bill. But when you look at the larger picture, this will have a huge impact on the environment and the planet. So
Yes.
could you talk about the repercussions that would follow if energy is not managed properly?
Yes, now you can see we are talking of global warming, and so greenhouse gases. So when we use fossil fuels and whatever not sustainable energy, renewable energies, then you will have that impact. So because of this global warming, now you can see all the weather patterns in the world are changing.
Right.
So that means globally, the weather patterns that we were used to for the last hundreds of years, now it is changing. So you have very long dry periods, and you have very heavy rains after that. So that means that will make flash floods and earth slips and so on, and then you won't be able to even grow normal paddy even in Sri Lanka if it continues like this. So therefore we have to go for renewable energy, otherwise the global warming will come in a bigger way. And now the sea level is rising, so and then in Sri Lanka will be also affected, and then that will be really a huge challenge for the human beings.
Right, so since you spoke about global warming, I will ask this question from you. As COP21 agreement was signed recently in Paris, supporting global warming reduction.
Yes.
So as a country, are we ready for this, and can we keep in line with the promises given to the United Nations?
Yes, actually, it's a good question because I think we have to see that more seriously than that we are doing right now as a government, as well as because I mean we have signed and then it will be a legal document. That means then we will have a legal impact if we don't apply to the conditions very soon. So therefore, as Sustainable Energy Authority, we are trying our level best to give a very comprehensive document to the government saying how we can reduce carbon dioxide emission. I mean, in COP21 agreement, we are talking of reducing carbon dioxide and monoxide emission. So in order to keep the global warming not at the rate that we are right now doing, but a lesser rate. So therefore, I think if the government implement our program, so we will be able to do bulk of it. Yes.
All right, and my final question to you is, it is essential that you create public awareness. Do you think there is enough awareness on this topic?
Actually, I think you have to help as you know you are with the general public. Okay, so our authority, as authority now, we are conducting for school children different programs and housewives, and also in different paper articles we are telling what we are doing and so on. But still, the message is not gone to all the households in the country. So if we can do it, then we will be able to reduce a lot of wasting energy, which means it will pay back to every single person in this country, because we are paying half of our income for energy usage.
Right.
So that could be transport energy or electricity. So therefore, it's we wish that more media will help us like you do in order to achieve that target.
We are indeed happy to have you here with us today, and thank you very much for being with us, and we wish you all the very best. Mr. Kirti Wickramaratne, he is the chairman of Sri Lanka Sustainable Energy Authority.
Thank you very much, and I also thank your organization that you have given opportunity for us to present this very important aspect of the country.
Right, and with that we got to wind up for today. Thank you very much for being a part of us. We will see you next week. Until then, have a safe and a pleasant week. Take care and good night.